Annette Badland, known for EastEnders and Ted Lasso, makes a cameo on Casualty to honor Derek Thompson's departure. Badland's diverse career spans Shakespearean roles to iconic TV characters. Meanwhile, EastEnders' George Knight's mysterious return worries family, and Patsy Palmer's brother seeks detox amid her own past struggles with addiction. EastEnders star Annette Badland's roles from Shakespeare to Ted Lasso as she makes Casualty cameo. The actress will be making a special appearance in Saturday's episode of Casualty to celebrate Charlie Fairhead actor Derek Thompson's exit. An EastEnders icon and Ted Lasso star will be joining the cast of Casualty tonight to celebrate Derek Thompson's exit as Charlie Fairhead. The 75-year-old has been a part of the BBC's long-running medical drama since the very first episode, which aired in 1986. This year, however, the actor will bow out, and the show writers have big plans to make the exit of his character. Annette Badland will make a special appearance to play charge nurse Shirley in flashback scenes set in the 1980s. The 73-year-old is known to millions as Babe Smith on EastEnders, or for playing Mrs. Fitzgibbons in time travel period drama Outlander and May the Landlady in Apple TV+'s smash hit show Ted Lasso. Here's a recap on who the actress is and the career she's had. Growing up. Annette Badland was born in 1950 in Birmingham. Her mother, originally from Scotland, relocated to the Midlands capital during World War II, where she met the actress' father. She trained in acting at East 15 Acting School in Loughton, Essex. Her performance as the maid in Private Lives in 1970 earned her an equity card and the right to work in the professional theatre. Badland's career. After drama school, Badland joined Ian McKellen's Actors' Company at the Cambridge Arts Theatre. She later spent 3 years at the prestigious Royal Shakespeare Company. Since then, the actress has graced both the stage and screen with her talent. Some of her most notable roles include portraying Margaret Blaine in the BBC science fiction series Doctor Who, Doomsday Dora in the Spartacle Mystery, and Bertie Henshaw in the drama series Cutting It. Her diverse career also led her to play Mavis in Season 6 of Skin's Ursula Crowe in the children's science fiction series Wizards vs. Aliens, Dr. Fleur Perkins in popular ITV crime drama Midsummer Murders and more recently May in Ted Lasso. Badland portrayed as well the recurring role of Mrs. Fitzgibbons in Starz' television adaptation of Diana Gabaldon's best-selling Scottish time travel novel Outlander. EastEnders. But for millions of fans of the BBC soap EastEnders, Badland is most associated as Aunt Babe, the devious and villainous relative of the Carters at the Queen Vic. She first appeared in episode 4796 of the show aired in January 2014. Babe's storylines have mostly revolved around her relationship with the Carter family, most notably the delicate relationship with her sister Sylvie Carter and the unrequited love for her brother-in-law Stan Carter. In 2016, however, it was announced that Badland's character would be leaving the serial and making her final appearance in February 2017. Casualty airs on BBC One at 9:25 p.m. on Saturday and will be available on iPlayer. For help watching Casualty, try ExpressVPN or NordVPN. People wanting to watch BBC shows will need a TV license. EastEnders spoilers: sinister mystery as George Knight comes home covered in blood, and Phil Mitchell covers for him. This article contains spoilers from Thursday's EastEnders, which has not yet aired on TV but is available to watch now on BBC iPlayer. George Knight left his family concerned when he disappeared after some bad news in recent EastEnders scenes, but his return didn't do much to settle their nerves. The pub landlord recently learned that his biological mother had died just 4 months ago after receiving a visit from one of her friends. After learning that his adopted dad Eddie had murdered his biological father, George started trying to find the rest of his birth family, so the news that his mother had died obviously hit him hard. Following the revelation, George left the pub, and still hadn't returned the next morning, much to the horror of Elaine Peacock and his daughters, Anna and Gina Knight. George's family were determined to find him, and asked everyone they could think of if they had seen him, including George's ex-wife Cindy Beale and his business partner Phil Mitchell. Though Phil informed Gina that he hadn't seen him, it soon became clear that he was covering for George, who later thanked him for not giving away where he was. Phil revealed that he didn't mind picking him up from the middle of nowhere, but wasn't a fan of lying to Gina, and tried to find out exactly what had happened, though George remained tight-lipped. After getting cleaned up, George headed home, where his family worried that he may have lashed out at Eddie. As George walked in on the conversation, he assured them that he hadn't done, though the bloody bandage wrapped around his knuckles didn't escape their notice. After revealing to his family that he had 2 brothers, he explained that he didn't want to find them, as he had all the family he needed in the Queen Vic. However, it was clear he hadn't told them the truth about where he had been the previous night, as he revealed when Phil asked. Phil was quick to point out that he had lost Kat Slater because he had kept secrets from her, and warned George to tell Elaine where he had been before she found out herself, though George insisted that she wouldn't. But where did George go, and what is he hiding? BBC EastEnders Patsy Palmer's secret heartache as brother admits our problems. Patsy Palmer's older brother Albert Harris is preparing to check into a detox center as he battles to beat his addiction demons. EastEnders star Patsy Palmer is dealing with a family heartache as her older brother battles drug addiction. Despite her successful return to the soap earlier this year, Patsy's 56-year-old brother Albert Harris is preparing for a tough journey of his own. He reportedly plans to check into a detox center this month for 3 weeks, followed by a 3-month stay at a primary treatment facility. Albert, who has been fighting heroin addiction since he was 15, has been clean for over a year but wants to stop using methadone, a medicine that helps control his cravings. Once he's free from methadone, he plans to dedicate his life to helping others struggling with addiction. Patsy, who moved to America in 2014, has openly talked about her own struggles with addiction. Albert was released from HMP Rochester in 2022 after serving a 5-year sentence for armed robbery in East London. This was his 2nd time in prison, having previously served another 5-year term for the same offense in Bristol in 2010, reports The Mirror. Albert has revealed that he hasn't spoken to his famous sister for about a year, but he's eager to mend their relationship. "I know I can have an alternative life," he told the publication. "I have problems with addiction and I want my little sister to see that I can get better and stay better. I want to make our mom proud and I want to make Patsy proud. Me and Patsy were always close, but it's been a bit difficult since she's lived in America and with my convictions. I'm stuck on this medication, but soon I will be going in somewhere and I'll have that freedom back and can start a new life. If I had another 10 years, I'd spend it helping others. I'd like to be a counselor or volunteer to help people with addiction. I've spent most of my life dealing with this and I know I can put my experiences to use, better myself and help others. I believe it's never too late to change." Patsy and her brother Albert grew up with their dressmaker mom Pat after she and their taxi driver dad split up. Patsy was just 8 and Albert was 13 at the time. Their older brother Harry moved out, leaving Patsy and Albert to live with their mom for another 5 years. Patsy became famous as Bianca in EastEnders when she was 21. She was last seen on the show over 4 years ago. This month, viewers saw Bianca again when Whitney Dean, played by Shona McGarty, visited her. Albert has been using methadone since he got out of jail. He started taking it for pain after an operation on his back. But he shared, "It makes me feel so tired. I'm a slave to the chemist and I can't get a job while I'm on it. I can sit and watch TV and do nothing else for days." He also said, "As soon as people know I'm on methadone and know about my past, it's very difficult. But it stops my cravings and prevents me from going into that dark world, being around those people and committing crimes." Albert, who goes to Narcotics Anonymous meetings 3 or 4 times a week, admitted he used heroin twice after getting out of jail but hasn't for the last year. He shared, "I just don't want to be that person anymore. I know I'm ill and I know if I think I'm better and stop going to meetings, I'll become addicted again." He also said, "I'm doing a lot of work with myself. The meetings help with your mental state and your emotions, and I get support from my key workers. But ultimately, I just long to be free and live a normal life." Albert hopes to reunite with his sister once he's completely clean. "I am so proud of her, and I want her to be proud of me," he expressed. "I want to get clean and then see her again. We'll go for a coffee and a chat. The last time we spoke was on FaceTime a year ago. It's difficult because she's in America. But she's my sister. We'll always be close." Patsy, Albert's sister, has spent £12,000 trying to help him quit drugs. Patsy, an actress and DJ who was on Dancing on Ice, has been open about her own struggles with alcohol and drugs. In her book, All of Me, Patsy wrote about her drug use while working on EastEnders. She said, often, I arrived at work after partying and being off my head on drugs all night. Sometimes, I was still high on ecstasy. I don't think anyone realized. They thought my exuberant moods were natural. But I was taking huge amounts of ecstasy, vomiting all over dance floors, then taking more drugs. Then I'd shower and change before appearing on set. At lunch, I'd grab a Mars bar and a Coke and have a sleep in my changing room. In her 2007 book, Patsy also shared that she started smoking marijuana at 11 and later sniffed solvents. She wrote about her past, saying, "Sometimes I think, how am I not dead, given the drink, drugs, lack of sleep, lack of proper nutrition and non-stop schedule I inflicted on myself." Now, Patsy is completely clean and living happily in Malibu with her husband Richard Merkel and their children. Talking about her life now, Patsy mentioned, "It's beautiful. We live in our own little bubble. Malibu is its own little place, but we very much keep ourselves to ourselves and we have a lot of English friends. I pinch myself every morning when I wake up and see the ocean. It's like a dream. But I've created that. I don't think I would live in England again. I'd like to experience something else in life, but I'm not too sure if I will." Please subscribe our channel.